816-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention. Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.,
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes,
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
and Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Welcome in. A beautiful day. June 2nd. Can you believe it? Well, we've got to look at that June 1st deadline when it came to managing salary caps for your Jacksonville Jaguars and the rest of the National Football League. That did come and go yesterday without a whole lot of hoopla, but we'll definitely dig in on it. A Mocama Beer Company Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us throughout the day on 1010XL 92.5 FM. So we just kind of keep it rolling for you as we head into the afternoon. You got Big Sirs still on the Big Island. We'll say he's down in Jamaica, man. He'll be coming back later today, and then we will have him back in studio tomorrow. Matt Hayes, Joe C., we are ready to go. And we got RJ in with us today as JJ will be, slinging later on, working. And if I have this right, RJ, you're in the 8 o'clock hour. Is that correct?
In the 6 o'clock hour.
6 o'clock hour.
Yeah, from 6 to 8, filling in for Rick and Hacker. Both are out today, so we'll be filling in for them. I'll just be taking Rick's slot for 2 hours just for Monday, and then he'll be back the rest of the week.
So it's into the night with RJ, or is it just another open gym?
So it's open gym. We will be talking Jags, but I do have a couple NBA thoughts that I do want to give out. So hopefully people will tune in and enjoy the show. I think you guys will probably like this. We'll have Samaki Walker as a guest to talk about the NBA Finals.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So, we'll just keep pointing out that RJ will be working a little double time today, and then Big Blue will be back tomorrow, and Hack, and so on and so forth. All right. So, Mocama Beer Company Monday. You can definitely enjoy Mocama Beer Tuesday through Sunday if you head to their beautiful tap room up in Fernandina Beach on South 8th Street, or their Wildlight location, or you can just pick up some Mocama at Total, ABC, or Publix. Just look for some of that delicious craft. Tuesday through Sunday, they're open serving craft, but every single day serving coffee in the tap room.
Let me, real quick before we get going, let me explain how the sausage is made to everyone listening with the two guys on vacation right now, Hacker and Leon. They're both texting us pictures. Well, Hacker's texting me. He's not texting you guys.
Right.
I think he's probably thinking, well, he's going to forward it to them anyway.
Yeah.
Leon texts us a picture of a red stripe. Having fun, he said. Having fun in Jamaica, man.
Well, because he had not had a red stripe before he left. And JJ and I immediately said,
gotta have one.
If you're in the Bahamas, it's Kalik. If you're in Jamaica, if you're in the islands, you got to make sure you get a red stripe.
So he sends us that, right? And then Hacker starts sending me pictures.
Yeah,
Hacker's on a cruise.
Another strange
He's
thing.
on the Disney cruise.
Yeah.
And he's sending pictures of fruity drinks.
That's all he drinks.
One of them looked like a Mountain Dew, but he said it was some kind of melon drink.
Yeah,
he sent me a picture of a chocolate drink.
Yeah.
Then he had another it was like a ginger and peach drink, and I'm like, how is he not thrown up yet?
Well, it's syrup, man. Okay, he's Buddy Elf when it comes to stuff like this, and thankfully he is so much lighter and so much more. He now has the ability to
filter a little bit of that, right?
Carry on through the night if he needs to, but it's still going to be syrup, man. Syrup.
We're all man's man here, right?
and it used to be the original was the whatever the rum was and pineapple. That was his deal. And so it's nothing but syrup. Which, by the way, whenever I get in that island mode, I still cannot have all those sugary drinks. Just can't do it. It just it hits the gut. And it hurts, that's for sure. All right, so we got plenty to get into today at OTAs earlier, so we definitely want to get into some of the thoughts. And like I was talking with Helmets and Heels just a little bit earlier, that you're not going to get a ton out of anything that you see in particular when it comes to these OTAs, but it's valuable. It's valuable work for them, huge opportunity for some of the guys to be noticed on the roster. because you're going to go through the summertime and you're going to be working your fanny off and you're going to hope that you get noticed. Coaches are going to go in afterwards. They're doing all sorts of eval. There's tape of everything. Any play you make, there's tape out there. And you're going to go into this quiet period or whatever before they get ready for training camp, and you're going to be wondering, where do I sit? How do they view me? And I'll just throw out a couple of guys just to kind of get our conversation going. I talked with Devon Hamilton, so we'll have that coming up in just a little bit. I don't think Devon is necessarily worried about his job, but he certainly is worried about his playing time with a new defensive coordinator. You can't help but be thinking about that.
You wouldn't, right?
Yeah. And there's, I would think, a lot of guys on both sides of the ball that are trying to make sure that they get noticed. Christian Braswell, what has he done in a Jaguars uniform?
Very little.
Yeah, not a lot. And he went from not making the roster, get on the practice squad, occasionally would get in on game day, but just very, very little opportunity. Well, Braswell's out there making a couple plays. He's going up against one of the bigger wide receivers, and he is making plays today. And so those are the types of guys that you feel like you want to see something from them. And then just get an idea of how this whole thing's going to come together from the coaching point of view.
Yeah, I've been saying all along, a guy like Javon Foster, I don't know what he can show in OTAs, but that's a guy when the pads get on.
Yeah.
Like if he really spent this offseason thinking, all right, it's time for me to make a move or I'm going to be out of this league in 3 or 4 years.
Right.
Then we're going to see it this year, you know? So it'll be interesting to watch him play, I think. No doubt about it.
Well, I think there's a bunch of guys that fit that description or fall in that category, and you can't help but just start looking at them and just saying, you know, which of these guys, like a Javon Foster, who was a draft pick a year ago, which of these guys are going to be able to step up and do something? And the way you can look at OTAs, or for that matter, once they get into minicamp next week, there's one more opportunity this week to go out and see OTAs, and then there'll be the minicamp next week, and you know we'll all be out there. But there's no pads, okay?
Yeah.
But they're still playing to a level where they've got to be, and I always use this phrase, assignment rich. They got to be sharp. They got to know what they're supposed to do. And there were a couple of busted plays. Like one of them was Foye Oluokun kind of getting a little fired up because he knew that they had him beat on defense and it was a busted play. But those types of opportunities, all you're trying to do is figure out, install defense, install offense, which of these guys is going to pick it up and which of these guys is going to make plays.
You're trying to manage your ecosystem, Joe.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
I know that you –
Don't forget that.
Yeah. Yeah, I will take this ecosystem versus the last ecosystem all day. And it's so funny because you're a wordsmith. You should appreciate a guy with a good vocabulary.
I do. I absolutely do. If what he's bringing to the table, what Liam Coen is bringing to the table is a way for them to think differently about what they're doing, I think that's great. Because what they've been doing all along hasn't been working. It's led to one outlier and a lot of bad. So, yeah, I think whatever brings necessary change is a great thing.
Yeah. And what they're trying to do now is figure out which of these guys love ball, which is a big discussion that we've all had at some
right. Well, who are
level
football players? Who are football players and who are guys cashing checks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that's the debate on every roster in the NFL.
Sure, especially if you're not winning. And so right now, and you could go as high as, if you want to go to the high point of your football pyramid, what is it? It's the quarterback. Does he love football? Remember the original discussion. Is Trevor going to devote himself to football? Remember
that was before he was even drafted.
Before he was ever selected number one. Is he worth it? Is he going to be in? All this kind of stuff. Well, look, he certainly looks.
Hang on, let me stop you real quick.
Yeah.
Is that a valid argument now?
I don't know. I think it needs to be part of the discussion. I'm never going to challenge Trevor Lawrence until I see evidence that says that makes him look like he doesn't love football. But at the same time, we have challenged him to take it up a notch, to be better at everything he does, to want to be better at everything
But you would think that Doug Peterson also challenged him that way as well, right? You would think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but then I'll turn that one around, not on you, but just turn it around and go, did Doug Peterson love coaching last year?
That's a great question.
Yeah, because it didn't look like it, okay? Because he basically said, I'm giving them everything they need. No, you weren't. And I'll watch and see how these guys respond. But Josh Hines Allen is another guy that was talking today, and he basically said, this guy makes you want to work. He's hyping his defensive coordinator.
Campanile.
Yeah, Anthony Campanile, which is fine that he's hyping him. And at the same time, whenever you hype the guy that's here, you're basically saying the guy that isn't here any longer wasn't that.
Right, but also at some point it's got to be on Josh Hines Allen's too.
Yeah.
He's got to be at some point willing to say, okay, I didn't play well, and that's on me.
Yeah. Well, we'll pull up one of the sound bites from him, and this will kind of be our backdrop to today. And it's a decent question. And RJ, pull up the Josh Hines Allen, because one of the biggest ones was the fact that in the presser today, he basically said, and I put this on X at 1010XL Joe C, or you can go to Instagram at 1010 and Joe C and find the actual soundbite. But he said he topped out at 285 pounds. 285. He played at Kentucky at 255.
Right.
He got here, he probably lived around 255, maybe 260, 265 max.
What got him to 285? That's the question.
The edict, the doctrine that was brought in with Nielsen and Balky last year, bigger, faster, stronger, okay, all that. He tipped out at 285 pounds.
So I guess he was saying that he wasn't. Do you have this RJ? Was he saying that he didn't feel like the same guy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. All right, RJ, you got these, all right? So let's go with the first of these two bites that have that number 280 right now. Play number 5 first about the weight that he had.
I mean, I got up to I was like 285. I was much bigger. And, you know, my mindset was always, you know, to be as dominant. But, you know, it was a little, obviously holding a little bit more weight kind of, you know, puts a little bit more wear and tear on the body, and just, you know, it was a lot, too much. Again, learn to adapt. Got to know what works best for you. Something I tried, and something that I'm like, all right, I probably don't want to do that again. So we're working on maintaining a good goal for me this year, and, you know, put some good tape out there.
All right, so let's play the next soundbite, and then we'll set up that the next one. But think about that. Okay, now that is a player accepting whatever those marching orders are, get your weight up. And so he goes out to Arizona, he trains, he puts the extra weight on. We all know he wasn't the same cat. Now, can you play? That's 30. You can call it
30
basically.
pounds,
now,
man. That's a lot of weight to put on in one off season.
Right. I'm going to basically say 260 to 280. I'm going to say at least 20. Okay, at least 20.
Yeah.
Is where I'm at. But play 5 first, and then we'll get to the last one of Josh Hines Allen.
See, I don't know, because, like, I was also getting banged up a lot more. My body was not cooperating as much as I wanted to, you know, but I take care of my body to the utmost. But it was a little bit different, so I don't know if that has something to do with the weight. So that's something I took in consideration coming into this season. And there we go.
So what's the goal number this year? 265?
To break the sack record, be an All-Pro, and win Defensive Player of the Year.
So he wants to get back to where he was. Now he also needs to get back to that Defensive Player of the Year chatter, for sure. And so he's accepting responsibility. It doesn't sound like he's deflecting and saying that's the only reason,
right,
but it definitely had an impact.
That's a lot of weight to gain.
Yeah.
So if they did have him gain, I don't know why you would have any NFL player gain 20 or 30. Even 20, okay, it's not good weight. 30 is ridiculous. That's just dumb.
Yeah.
Especially a player off the edge who needs that explosion off the edge. So if that's what it was and that was the mandate, that's all the more reason for you to shake your head and say, what were they doing here?
Right. And so the wordsmith, or as I like to call him, Harry Potter or James Gladstone's, I don't care what name I give him, just change the way these guys are approaching the game. Okay? And that weight gain with him, with Cisco, with Devon, you can go down the line.
Well, they had an anchor edge that was 285, Trayvon Walker.
Mm-hmm.
What? You don't need 2 anchor edges.
Yeah. No.
He needed to get bigger in the interiors where they needed to get bigger.
Yeah, and so it's just, and they do need to get bigger there. But Mason Smith, I'm looking at him right now.
Why would you tell your guy who had 17 and a half sacks the previous year to get up to 285?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's nuts when you think about it. So that is where we are. So what do you think when you hear Josh Hines Allen say that? Are you blaming the general manager, the defensive coordinator, the head coach? Are you blaming the player a little bit? Any angle you want to attack this, by all means, 641-1010, hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Give us an idea of what you're thinking. And can he have a return to glory? Because that's what he's looking for. And we'll play his words as far as what he said about Campanile, his new defensive coordinator, and how much he likes him, because this is where this team needs to change the narrative and change what people think of them right now. Because basically, they're flops, they're duds, they have a good season, then they go away for 2 or 3 years, and then who knows if they'll come back. That's how people look at this franchise right now.
Right.
That has to change. All right, we'll get into that coming up. It is XL Primetime. Hang out with us. You can jump on YouTube, catch the stream, or wherever you take us on the app. We appreciate it. Or on the old radio dial, 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
It's the way the game was meant to be heard. Raw, real, and right in your ear.
Right side coming! Touchdown!
Feel the energy on 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barry here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barry Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarryOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barry Orthopedics.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Let's start with some cold, hard truth. Here's why Awaken 180 weight loss is your road to freedom. It's fast, it's easy, it's safe. You're not shooting chemicals into your body every week. You're eating real food every single day. You're not listening to an overpriced celebrity tell you about a magical new food or asking you to count points or calories. You're just eating food and losing weight. It's just that simple. You know what else you're doing while losing weight with Awaken 180? Eliminating pain, fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years, sleeping through the night and waking up refreshed and energized and happy. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110 over a course of a year. It's life-changing. It's the road to freedom. Doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. A clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it'll change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Learn the secrets to bring your A game on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
Yeah, well, you really crushed that ball off the tee, I'll tell you what.
Learn the latest on new equipment from all the major manufacturers on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com. powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash, and they're ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. And gold market prices are at a record high. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com
so you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
I'm Drew Scrimshire, president and publisher of the Jacksonville Business Journal. In business, timing is everything. That's why every morning at 8:15, our morning edition delivers the most important business news straight to the inboxes of Jacksonville's decision makers, executives, entrepreneurs, investors, and industry leaders. Want to know what the First Coast power players are reading before they start their day? Join them. Subscribe today to the Jacksonville Business Journal Morning Edition at bizjournals.com/Jacksonville.
June is Men's Health Month. Be proactive towards your prostate, ED, low T, even kidney stones with Ackerman Urology. Offices in Mandarin, Middleburg, the Beaches, and World Golf Village. Trust the men's health experts at AckermanUrology.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Prime Time, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
21 minutes after the 2 o'clock hour, XL Primetime hanging out with you. We appreciate it, that's for sure. You can easily hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. Jump in the conversation. You can jump on the chat on YouTube with the live stream going on right now. And a Mokama Beer Company Monday, so we're definitely enjoying coming out of the weekend. I hope everybody had a good one. I hope you're getting ready for what will be. I think we've had great weather. It's going to get steamy, though. There is no doubt about it.
Quickly.
Yeah, but like today on the field at OTAs, just a little light breeze. TLD and I, the lovely Diane, we went down to the beach over the weekend. It's nice right now. And so hopefully it'll stay this way just for a little bit longer. Whenever you get out and walk the dogs, at least it's not terrible, because there's going to be some stifling heat coming up, that's for sure. But hopefully we'll be good to go for a while. All right, so let's get back to this Hines Allen conversation. And like we said, you guys jump in as far as what you think. If you're going to put any blame on anybody, if you're going to call a player out, whatever, just do it. Just give us your best, best way to look back at last year. Was it a loss for Hines Allen? Hell yes, it was. Was it a loss for the Jaguars as a whole defensively? I don't necessarily know that we have to assign this much blame to this guy or this much blame, but the Ryan Nielsen-led defense was a disaster. The Doug Peterson-led Jaguars,
schematically, it was terrible.
Was a disaster.
Yeah,
and so
also schematically terrible.
Yeah. And I even included Leon on one of the posts that I sent on X, because we'll play the sound from Hines Allen coming up here in a second. But they've got to put in the work and be a better team. But those hockey shifts also need to be gone.
I think, and if I can interrupt you real quick, yeah. I think, honestly, if you really start to break this down to its bare knuckles reality of what it was, okay? Mm-hmm. You're playing in the NFL, and on one side of the ball, you get all of 7 turnovers. On the other side of the ball, you're averaging...
Total of 9. 6 were picks, 3 were fumbles.
9. Sorry, I thought 7. 9.
But maybe
9 turnovers. Okay,
that may include 1 special team. So
I'm close to it. Right,
you still may be right.
Split it. On the other side of the ball, you're averaging 17 points a game.
Yeah.
So something schematically is not right there. Okay,
it was horses.
Something.
Yeah, horses behind.
So now continue with your thought process. I just wanted to kind of lay that foundation there.
And then one of the things, let's at least zero in on that part of it, is the rotation that he had up front, which was a disaster because it did not work It did not create any pressure, and it didn't force any turnovers. And when you're at the only other team that was excuse me. This was the worst turnover team
in the league.
Turnover forcing team in the league.
Yeah.
They were the only single-digit team in terms of total turnovers.
Right. Were they not the worst scoring offense in the league too?
No, they were whatever, 30, 31. So I'll pull it up. All right, but let's get back to 41 and just start out, RJ, with the one comment about I can't what he did last year to gain weight, he can't do it again this year.
I can't really speak on everybody's situation. I can only speak on mine's. And mine's was, I can't go into another season thinking about my weight. You know what I mean? So that's why this year, coming back, just come back in that mindset in that weight class that I feel like I need to be and is dominant, is fast, can move. I don't want to get off the field, and that allows me to, lose a little pound, lose a couple weight because I don't want to get off the field. I want to do what's best for my team. I want to play at a high level each and every rep. Get out, get a squirt of water, and then come back in and play 4 or 5 plays if I need it, full speed, and take over games. So that's my mentality. That's the mindset, and that's the goal at the end of the day.
So hear that, okay?
Yeah.
And I don't know whether Hines Allen was asking for a blow, get me off the field, let me rest. I don't want to go back in. He's saying he's not. He's saying he didn't do that. So I go out, I'll get a squirt, and then I'll go right back in. Okay? I need to be on the field. This whole damn 4 or 5 in, 4 or 5 out was asinine.
Well, you can do that if it's the early 90s and you're the Cowboys. Then you can do that. If you're rotating Jimmy Jones in, then yeah, you can do that.
Well, yeah.
If you're rotating like Ledbetter, and you can't do that.
Right. And if you have, all right, yeah, because the goal is...
If you see Abdul's rotating at an edge, guess what? You're going to have problems.
But even going back to some of the great defensive units that we're talking about, it wasn't a constant rotation of 8. It was the first 4 were going to get 60+% of the opportunities to do their work. And then 40% was going to be divided up, some combination of the next 4 in not all at once, but the next 4 would be rotating in at one position versus, okay, now you 4, you got your skates ready? All right, now you're on. And that can't happen. And so it's still on the player to make plays. But I do think this is a decent illustration of how things can go really bad really fast from a player, from a defensive MVP candidate. His career best year, leading or tying for the lead in sacks at 17.5, and then to come back as quiet as you could possibly be post 17.5 sacks, right? It was a pretty dang quiet. Now, he had a concussion. He had one game where he certainly has had family issues that we learned about later, that we certainly feel for him. But anyway, he did not have the season that he was hoping to have, or they were hoping for him to have, or the fans were.
He certainly didn't have the season of a top 5 paid defensive end in the league.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
and I think that's the issue. That when if you're a fan and you're looking at this thing from 30,000 feet, all you care about is sacks.
Yeah,
all you care about is performance on the field, and you can point to analytics about his pressures and how he was this among other edges in the league. I don't care about anything. It's sacks.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, did you get the quarterback? Did you bring him down? Did you strip the football? Did you force turnovers? What happened in 2023 did not play out in 2024. Right. And if you're a fan and you're just watching this, and again, I understand people saying, well, he doesn't have to please the fans. He has to please the front office. But if you're a fan or the front office and you're saying, all right, your production goes from 17.5 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
That's a red flag.
Yeah,
that's all of a red flag, whether it's because he had too much weight, because he had family issues, because he had a concussion, because he missed a game, whatever it is. The bottom line is his production was more than half decreased.
Yeah, and I do, every once in a while, I would like to see a guy flip out and just basically say, this is not me. This is not the way I want to play at, whatever. But he didn't do it, and he was quiet about it. And
that's fine. If you're saying that he was a good soldier, that's fine.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, if you're a fan and you're looking at it from this point of view, all you see is they just threw a ton of money at that cat and got half production from it.
Right, and that's what you want. You want a little bit more. He wants a little bit more. All right, so off the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, one of our prime-timers says, Joe, I have higher expectations from Coach Campanile this season because he's fluent in speaking ass-whooping. And I am with you, bro. So listen to what Josh Hines Allen said about his new coach on the defensive side and that formula that you're looking for and that obviously he's looking for as a player.
Definitely. Coach Camp has been awesome. He's never changed. Like, I know everybody says the mentality, the personality, the personal person that he is, he's just a lot. He's a lot. But it's nice, because you step into that meeting room, you're going to expect one thing. And it's not just screaming. It's the passion. It's the love. It's the love of the game that he has. Calais always told me, man, if you want to be great at something, you got to love, you got to respect it. And so for me, he gives off that. He respects the game. He loves it. He loves the team. He loves the players that's playing for him. And that can only give us trust and faith that if we go out there and give him everything we got, I would love to keep seeing that upbeat. And when he's calm, that's when it's like, all right, somebody's about to get cursed out.
Somebody's going to get cursed out, and
which is fine. I mean, that's
hell yes.
I mean that's fine. It's just, I just want them to be prepared.
Yeah,
I want Campanile to be on the sideline during a game, knowing what he's doing, not sitting there crouched down in a catcher's position with his hand on his mouth, like I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah,
and I have no answer for what's going on out there, and we can't stop anybody.
Yeah, and the cheap trick defensive coordinator Rick Nielsen definitely looked that way, and he had that want to get away T-shirt look. That he wanted to get the H out of there, and he was lost. And so I don't know whether energy that Campanile brings to the franchise is going to dramatically change everything on the defense, but I like the approach. I like the idea of, hey, I love this job. I'm living this job. I want you to love what you do every single day. I want to make you a star. Like we have our own coach camps. It's Dave Campo.
Yeah.
He loves his job. And so that's the type of approach that I would hope. Doesn't mean Coach Camps back in the day wouldn't get in your ear, because he would. And so will this guy, if he can get it right.
I will say this. I can't believe I'm even saying this, actually. To be fair to Cheap Trick, honestly, at some point you got to wonder about the guys in the field as well. Because it didn't – it was December, but it was almost late November, too, where you could see these guys, they didn't care. They didn't care.
There was a lot of checkout.
There was a lot of I don't know where I should be. And you could say, well, that's coaching. He's got to get him in position. It could also just be, well, they've been told and they're not listening, or they just blew it. They just blew a coverage. So there was a lot of that last year. I can remember our camps texting us saying, how do you blow that coverage? Yeah. How do you blow that coverage 10 weeks into the season? So I guess we hope, and you know how I feel about hope, Joe. Mm-hmm. It is not a plan.
Yeah.
We hope that it was the coaching, but what if it was a combination of both?
Oh,
what if Rick Nielsen,
our
guitarist, had no answer because there was no talent out there?
I know that there are a lot of worlds out there, and I'm pretty sure all of Duval that's listening to us right now knows one of the bigger worlds that this happens in all the time is the blame game.
Yeah,
the finger pointing.
Yeah,
it wasn't me, it was you. It's not us, it's them. We all know what we're talking about there. It happens all the time.
Didn't we hear that from Cisco after, I think it was the London game? I saw a lot of quit. That was his quote.
Yes.
That was week, 4?
Yeah, that was early on in the season.
Yeah, it was early on, week 4, week 5, something in that neighborhood. But the other damning thing about that is that Cisco looked like he was part of the party. Okay, he didn't make enough
Many
plays.
times last year, he looked like he was part of the party.
Yeah, he didn't make enough plays either. I'm glad you brought that up, RJ, because there was. It's just so easy to say it wasn't me.
Isn't there a song like that? It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. That's a whole other.
I'm sure
it's a whole other storyboard, but it wasn't me. And so that line is so convenient, and I've always tried to pair it up. Coaching matters, players matter. You have to have both. If you have a casual coach, players will become casual. If you have a guy that's got the drive as a player, and let's just use Tom Brady as an example, Tom Brady loved the game and coached inside that locker room, his fanny off to make sure other guys were on the same page with him. And you need all of that, every bit of it. All right, so here's one off the text line. Bush Drive Rich, he says, remember when the entire defensive staff was let go and one of the personnel staff said that what was leaving was the problem, and that the problem was still in the building. I guess they weren't lying.
And they got worse.
Yeah, 285 pounds for Josh, Armstead at edge, moving the league's leading tackler out of his position. Truly ridiculous. And I agree with you, Bush, because Foye, who was a tackling machine, was asked to go outside. Devon, who hadn't quite done what they would have hoped he could do, he was moved inside. He made a bunch of tackles too, but they were also 5 and 6 yards.
Yeah,
the line.
Here's what I fear. What I fear is it was no doubt part Nielsen, but it was also part they got a lot of guys in that defense. They're just guys.
Yeah,
and if that's the case,
can't argue with some of that.
You need a guy coaching them that's going to get them motivated to play to their ceiling.
Yeah. Can't argue.
So it doesn't mean that they're going to play and be all pros. It just means that they will be in the right position, playing as well as they can play at their ceiling, and then you'll get a chance to have every couple games, every 3-4 games, you'll have like, all right, whoa, there it is.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be every single week. The roster, the defense needs to be turned a little bit. There are guys in there that they're just guys. Yeah, they're just guys on that defense.
Yeah, they got to wick it up. That's for sure. All right, off the text line, mojitos are the go-to summer drink for the islands. I can't argue with that. If you can, what do they call it? Is it muddling in the bottom of the glass?
Muddling, yeah.
Yeah, and they get a little bit of that mint and whatnot, and they just break it up, kind of get that all the essence of the mint,
the aromas,
the aromatics. That's what it is.
That's
the aromatics. So TLD definitely had some mojitos, and we go to Sunset Grill, and she'll definitely Kenny the bartender is a master.
Good mojito's good.
Yeah. Kenny can crank out a good mojito. But so I'm with you there, but I don't think that's been on Hacker's list of drinks that he's had. So
no, it's
no way.
Liquid. He's not drinking a mojito. No way.
Well, he thinks he's drinking liquor with the other stuff, but I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. It's XL Prime Time.
I'm a sausage guy.
Taking you from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. This is 1010 XL.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Guys, want a golf course fairway quality lawn? TopDressing.com just landed in Jacksonville with the golf course secret for St. Augustine grass homeowners. A patented process that aerates and turns your turf into a fairway stunner. Serious golf course technology, but in your yard. Less water, tighter cuts, total neighborhood domination. No one else scores a perfect 10 lawn. Hit TopDressing.com now. You will own the block. Top dress your yard like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Caliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window
World,
simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 2nd, 1987, the kid, Ken Griffey Jr., was selected first overall by the Seattle Mariners.
Making his Mariner debut, Ken Griffey Jr. at the age of 19.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Frank Frangie here. I was talking to a buddy the other day. His HOA told him his old fence had to go. I said, man, call Coil Fencing. They've been around the block since 1927. Heck, they probably built half the fences in Jacksonville. They do it all. Tough chain link for security. Those fancy aluminum ones the HOA actually likes. Nearly a century of keeping yards safe and looking good. If you need a fence, call Coil. You can trust the folks at Coil. 904-356-4821 or visit CoilJacks.com. COYLE Jacks.com.
With the first pick in the 2025 draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Duck Duck Rooter, the #1 plumbing, septic, and air conditioning contractor in Florida.
Congratulations, Duck Duck Rooter. So tell us, how does it feel to be picked #1?
Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When you need help with any plumbing, septic, or AC issue, just give us a call and relax. We'll send one of our first-round draft picks to tackle your problems today. DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I don't know what to do.
Said it wasn't you.
All right. But you got me on the
Is XL Prime Time. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
Get it up a little bit, RJ.
Wasn't me. Heard the words that I told her. Wasn't me. Heard the screams getting louder. Wasn't me. She stayed until it was over. Honey gave me that she told me red.
That's a totally different subject matter, but there was a lot of it wasn't me going on that one. Big hit. No, it's not a big hit when you have a lot of blame game going on, either in a locker room or on a football team going, well, it wasn't me. It was that guy, those guys. And it's funny because one of our dudes, one of our diehards, and I laugh when I read it, he said, only the Trent Baalke, Doug Peterson, Rick Nielsen Jaguars would take a guy that just led the league in sacks and tell him to go gain 20 pounds. So it's a great point. All right, 641-1010. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We appreciate it when you guys jump in. That's for sure. There are some naysayers out there, too. I have no problem with that either. One, I doubt Josh will ever see 17 sacks again. He played like a man possessed in that contract year. And we've had several like that. Would he have gained weight in the contract year? That type of stuff. And fine. If you feel that way, it's not like you can't throw darts at a dude's performance. You can. There's nothing wrong with it. I just went back and forth with a texter as far as Trevor goes. We have called Trevor out. Trevor needs to play better. Does he have love for the game? I really don't know. I really don't know how to answer that question. I just know that he's turned it over too much. He looks like he can be better than he has been in a big way, and he needs to. And so we don't know whether it will happen, but I don't know what drives any of these guys. Fuel, it can come in the form of a lot of things. It could come in the form of finances, how much you are getting paid. It can come in the form of family. It can come in the form of just individually. Hey, I want to be the best I can be. And you can see it in certain guys, the way they play the game. Mahomes doesn't look like he's on fire all the time, does he? He just looks like he goes and makes plays.
I don't know about that. He looks like he's zeroed in all the time.
He
looks like he is locked in.
Well,
man.
I think maybe in some respects I'm spoiled by the way he plays the game because I see him and I see a guy that's just constantly, he knows what to do. He's never lost. I hardly ever see him get fired up, but he gets the job done. I guess that's the only way I was trying to describe that is that he doesn't look like Dan Marino looked angry, okay? And he was a guy that always wanted to get a little bit more out of whatever it was. He would blame the run game. He'd blame the defense. He'd do whatever, but you could never question his skill set. He was on fire most of the time. He didn't make a lot of mistakes. In the case of Trevor, there's been a lot of bad around him, but he's also contributed to the bad.
Right. Let's also not, and I don't think we can forget this, okay? This is like, at the end of the day, you are what your tape says you are.
Yeah.
And what does Leon call him, Mr. 275?
Yeah.
Since that $275 million contract, he's played in 10 games and has 11 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Yeah. And
I don't know how else you don't look. That's how you look at it.
Right.
That's at the end of the day, it's about production and a 2-8 record in those 10 games.
And he went through an unhealthy finish to the year before, came back. They supposedly, the brain trust of Doug Peterson, Press Taylor, and Trevor, they supposedly said they were going to figure out a way to free him up and get a lot more out of him. We all know the way the season started. It didn't go anywhere near where they wanted it to go.
Well, also you look, and again, we can argue about giving him the extension after year 3. You can argue all you want about that. I know that's the way it's done in the league.
Yeah,
and that's the right thing to do.
And I will not say that I wasn't in that camp.
But they gave him the 275 after a season in which they tanked, and he had 21 touchdowns and 14 picks.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and the season
had they not, let's just say, had they not given him that extension, and had they waited till year 4, right? Year 4 rolls around and you go 10 games in and you're out. And you got 11-7. You're going to give him that extension then?
No, you would have gotten it. You might have gotten the same price. I'm not even sure. You still probably would have been forced. You could have let him play on his 5th year easily, and then
easily,
and then worked on it,
and maybe
there.
Still had the same contract.
Yeah. Who knows? Because the prices are constantly going up. But
so that was another gift from Trent Baalke, by the way.
Well, yeah, I think
another leftover.
I think Trent wanted to make sure he got guys signed second contracts, just so he could say it. But everyone expected Trevor to get a second
right,
contract.
And I know that's the right thing to do. I know that's what you do in the NFL. I get all of that. And all I'm saying is you are at the point there after 3 years. You're giving a guy $275 million. He's got 39 interceptions in 3 years.
Yeah. And if you do go with the last 2 years, it's certainly very uneven. It's not what you want to see. 21-14, and then what was it? 11-7.
11-7.
Yeah, and so and by the way, they weren't in the win column to begin this year. It just did not go well, and so all that stuff has to change dramatically. And so
I would think, like, again, we talk about this all the time, but I would think as players, those guys would be like, I'm a little embarrassed. Like, if you're Josh Allen, I'm a little embarrassed. I got paid $170 million, and my production was decreased by 50%.
Yeah, and so
if I'm Trevor Lawrence, I'm like, I got paid $275 million, and I looked terrible for 10 games.
Yeah, I want both of those guys to have that fire in their belly, to be the leaders on both sides, that demand excellence left, right, in front, and behind them.
They have to be the leaders, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so let's hear a quick conversation from Devon Hamilton, who's a guy that also has had an uneven career in a lot of ways. When you think about what he went through health-wise, he had a very serious physical scare that left him way less than he was as a football player, but also was kind of threatened with his life, okay? He was pretty dang – like, it was some serious stuff. And so that was back in 2023, tried to fight his way back last year, at least get to playing weight, and anyway, here's the conversation with Devon. We're with Devon Hamilton, Jacksonville Jaguar interior defensive lineman. How you doing, bud?
Doing great, man. Can't complain.
Well, listen, you're in minicamp mode, okay? You got minicamp coming up next week, the OTAs. How has it been so far for you?
It's been smooth. I mean, I feel like our culture is really growing here. I feel like we're really building as a team. I love this. Love to see that.
All right, so spend some time on the culture. Give us an idea of what you feel has changed.
I mean, it's a more positive feel. I feel like we're all working to get better every single day, and we really can't complain about what we're doing, you know? I mean, coaches are great to be around, great to learn from. So, yeah, it's been good.
And I like that. And this is not to say anything negative about what happened before, but it's more to say what's positive about what's happening now.
Just overall attitude, I think, as a team, and player to player, coach to coach, everybody within the building, I think is just more positive.
All right, so is it safe to say Devon Hamilton has been through the ringer as an individual, as a pro, meaning you had to battle some stuff, and then you had to come back to where you were 100% healthy last year, most tackles last year as a Jaguar. Kind of give us a sense of that journey that you've been on.
It's been a testing journey. Things didn't go my way, but, I thank God every single day that I'm allowed to come out here. Obviously things didn't go perfect like 2 years ago, and it was definitely a process to get back to where I felt like I was playing at my best. But I can't complain, man. This is a journey. If this is the worst that's happened to me, I can't complain, man.
Yeah, you'll take it. I remember this time a year ago, you were busting your butt just trying to get weight back and get strong again, so you don't have to worry about that now.
Yeah, no, not at all. I think we've been straight, been working real hard with the strength staff, and I can't. Perfectly fine now.
All right, so give us a sense before we have to say goodbye to you, just the interior part of the line, what Anthony Campanile is doing, what he's asking you to do, the 1 and the 3, kind of give us an idea.
I think the biggest thing, the takeaway is he's allowing us to be ourselves. When we go in there, like, there's no trying to put you in a box and mold you into our system. It's what do you do best, and that's what I really appreciate about him.
All right, Devon Hamilton, we appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So he's listed as that interior starter right alongside, and you can come up with whether it's Eric Armstead and what's going to happen with Mason Smith. That rotation is going to definitely be worth watching and paying attention to. But Devon, humble guy, wants to be the playmaker that you out there want him to be, but he's just like everybody else. He needs to be better. They all know that this has got to have a serious uptick. Now, for Devon, like we said, he was just trying to get back to fighting weight last year, and he did have his career best in terms of tackles, but there just weren't enough plays being made at the line of scrimmage. Jordan Jefferson's got a chance to maybe challenge him. We'll see who else is there. I'm looking at Mason Smith today. I'll just say right now, June 2.
Here we go. Here we go.
He looks a little heavy to me.
Oh, okay. I thought this was going to be July Joe a month early.
Oh, no.
Really? Because that was his problem last year.
Yeah, he looks a little.
He was
heavy
out of shape.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching that one.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to be definitely.
Are you trying to tell me he's going to eat his way out of the league? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know. I want to see what happens. I want to see how all these guys get. Do they get pushed in the right direction? Do they push themselves? Do they have that drive? And look.
Okay, I'm going to see this Thursday because
he could shed it.
Because
easily.
if that's another gift left from Balky, that's going to be a problem.
The 48th pick overall.
That's going to be a problem, man.
Yeah. And so I want to know. I think everybody desperately.
Wait, let's dive into this real quick, okay? You've got a brand new general manager, a brand new coach, a brand new vice president, a brand new, in their own words, ecosystem. You've had 4 months off, right? Probably 5 even, actually. Closer to 5. 4 months. We'll just say 4.
Well, yeah, your OTAs have been going on for 2 or 3 weeks. Post. Right. Let's call it 4 months. April.
You knew when you showed up here that it's a brand new system, brand new coach, brand new DC, and you show up out of shape?
Well, I'm not going to say it out of shape.
Again?
I'm not going to say out of shape. I'm going to say a little heavy. They may even be looking at, just depending on what happens, they may even be looking at him next to Eric Armstead. I don't know. I'm very curious to see how this goes.
Was he moving fluidly, Joe?
Look, they don't have pads on.
See, the fact that you hesitated there makes me wonder, like, this might be a problem.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on it. This is going to be one that I'm watching, that's for sure. All right, so we head into the 3 o'clock hour. We will stay on the Jags. We'll get into a couple of other things from the National Football League. Still need to hit the association. RJ definitely wants to get into a little Pacers and OKC talk, which he will have as part of his show later on, sitting in for Rick Ballou into the night a little bit later on. Mokama Beer Company Monday. They definitely want to bring it to you every single day with that beautiful tap room. You can go in there and have a great time, hang out. They've got music on the weekends. Food trucks are popping in. They got their own kitchen. So they got all sorts of things going on. But coffee every single day. Beer, the delicious craft, Tuesday through Sunday. You can find them on South 8th Street in Fernandina, or You can find them in their Wildlight location up in Nassau County. Look for them on the shelves, Total, ABC, or Publix. Get you some good Mocama craft beer.
Now, Studio Talk with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Are you waiting for me to say something?
The Drill.
You're not just pathetic, you're selfish.
Mornings.
Maybe we could live without the wisecracks.
On 1010XL.
Are we done being neighbors for now?
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Swing into the hottest party of the summer. Join First Tee Door Florida at the Yards on June 12th for the Summer Soiree Baja Beach Bash. We're bringing the vibrant spirit of Cabo San Lucas to the First Coast for an evening of family-friendly fun. Enjoy live music, craft cocktails, golf games, raffle prizes, and delicious Mexican-inspired cuisine from Taco Lu. Golf, fiesta, and philanthropy, all to support the impactful programs of the First Tee. Visit firstteenorthflorida.org/summer soiree to secure your tickets today.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Mike Dempsey here. Look, you know, it's been 10 years that I've been vouching for my guys at Dandy Boots, and for a decade, I'm proud of my association with a local family business. They make a great product. I've made no secret that I was a customer long before Dandy ever came on board on 1010XL. But I'm thinking I'm due a little Dandy swag, maybe a little love. How about a Dandy t-shirt, a ball cap? So how about it, Thompson family? What do you got going on over there? In the meantime, I'm going to keep eating those delicious tuna salad sandwiches. So guys, keep helping me out and grab a Dandy sandwich today.
Baseball is back. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball at the newly renovated Five-Star Ballpark is your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game and kids round the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
Weekends were made for sports, and I'll tell you my take on this weekend's most interesting options. 1010XL's Media Mogul Hicken here. Watch for Musing with the Media Mogul on YouTube and Facebook. Made possible by Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beards has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands. Wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beards now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beards can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol. Beards Diamonds at St. John's Town Center.
Hey, Jacksonville Hicken here. I've been around the block or two, and Checkmate Coatings is who I call for my own place. They're my new MVP for stunning, long-lasting floors.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coatings. No massive overhead means top prices on top-quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios, too.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com today. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Yo, 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 it's your boy E to the T here, and I know that getting into an accident is stressful, but getting the proper care doesn't have to be. That's why I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. Even if you're at fault, your insurance covers you. And remember, you have the right to choose your own doctor. Even a minor accident can cause whiplash for years if it goes untreated. So don't wait. Call the auto accident experts at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Your recovery starts today.
The the flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
What does the logo on the Pittsburgh Steelers helmet signify? The answer next.
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The logo on the Steelers helmet represents the steel industry. It's the only NFL team with the logo on just one side.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by USA Park Airport Parking. Week 3 of OTAs got underway at the Miller Electric Center this morning, and after practice, head coach Liam Coen took some questions from the media. Our very own Mia O'Brien of the Helmets and Heels show asked Coen about Trevor Lawrence's progression in the red zone thus far, as that's been an area in which he's struggled in the past.
He's actually done a really nice job in the red zone. I think he made some quick decisions. You know, everything is sped up in the red area. When the timing, the rhythm, the space, it's all tighter, it's all sped up. I thought he's done a nice job with his footwork in the red zone, understanding that concept. And ultimately, like, good teams in the red zone are able to run the football into the end zone, and it's hard to do that in this setting. So
it's 84 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
Our dude Denny down in SoFlo, South Florida, hanging out as, well, there's a lot of work being done down there. The quarterback whisperer joining us. Denny, how you doing, bud?
Oh, man, I'm good. It is an absolute downpour right here today.
Is it really?
Or down here today, yeah.
So
just looking out my window at a bunch of rain right now.
We feel bad for you, bro.
Yeah, you should. It's a terrible place to come down here and have to work for months and months, isn't it?
It's so funny. I think if you go anywhere, okay, now you're down there working, but any vacationer, you go to Southern California or South Florida, it's not allowed to rain. I don't care what day, time, or anything we're talking about. It's not allowed to rain.
100%. Yeah, 100%. No, it's amazing down here. So it's I'm shooting back and forth quite a bit, but I've been down here probably 80% of the time since the middle of May. And so, no, it's good. There's a lot worse places you could have to go.
Oh, you better believe it. All right, so Carson Beck is right now the pride and joy of the U, and we always throw the word hope around, and they certainly hope like hell that they have that type of year that they're envisioning. How is it going with him? What type of work you putting in?
Oh, no, it's great. It's great. No, it's just regular work. He's obviously, getting ready for the season, coming off of last year. So it's just an all hands on deck. Just, can we all work together and make sure that we're all doing the things that need to be done for him to be ready to play at the level that they expect him to play at and that he should play at. And so that's, we're just checking all the boxes right now, but he's doing great.
All right, so I'm going to let you in on our conversation, Denny, earlier. I think you'd be a great guy to talk about this. So we were talking about Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence, and just the fact that when you reach this point as a player where you are a paid player, where you are a guy that they're investing a lot of money in, clearly there's pressure on you to perform, but at what point is there pressure on the player, inert pressure from the player that, all right, I got to get this done. I've got to carry this team. I've got to do something to change this thing around.
That's a hard question. I don't know that there's a right answer because I don't know the right answer because nobody's ever paid me $265 million. Right. If somebody wants to do that, I'll tell you how that pressure feels. I'll let you know.
I'll be happy to figure it out. Right.
Right. But I don't, my gut is there's not much pressure than there was before. I don't think that they're preparing harder because they have more money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that they're trying harder because they have more money.
Right.
I think on the outside looking in, there's a significant amount of pressure, especially because of the salary cap and the percentage of that salary cap. And, what that means for them to lock you up for that amount of time to the overall structure of the team. So I'm sure from the outside looking in, it looks that way, and they probably see that, and they probably would like to hit a next gear. But I think the gears that they've hit in the past are the gears that they have. Like, that's how these guys are built, and that's how they got to this level. I think you improve because you just learn, right? The NFL game is largely, you got to be good enough to play in that game, but you have to be smart enough and you have to be crafty enough to understand how you play in that game. And the longer you play, the more and more you figure out what that looks like for you individually as a player. So, I think the money just probably adds to like, hey, yeah, man, like I need to get as much experience as I can, and I need to start being a good ROI for this city and for this team. But as far as pressure, I think most of these guys have lived under intense pressure their entire life already.
Yeah, it's built in, I think, is what we always like to say, a little built-in pressure that they do to themselves. And those are the master motivators that want to get more out of them, that think there's a higher ceiling. And I think that's what every player fights, Denny, is to say, hey, did I put in a full day? Did I do everything I was supposed to do? Yeah. But did I get everything out of it that I want? And so that's that next level, I think, that the great players have.
Yeah, I mean, I think sports is a microcosm of life is so true in this, right? Like, it literally, that's just what you do through life, right? It's like, all right, what did I do wrong today, and what can I do better? Mm-hmm. And that's just in a much, I guess, more visible environment than most of us live in, that these guys have to grow up and go through that, because, we can talk about this all we want, but at the end of the day, we're still talking about 23, 24, 25, 26, 27-year-olds. They got growing to do. It's just what it is. Just because they're a professional athlete doesn't mean that they're older than what they really are. They are that young. And so they're going to learn, and they're going to get better and better and better until the health of them declines or their abilities decline. And that's just the way this thing works. So, yeah, I mean, I've long said that I think year 7 for most quarterbacks is where they start to hit their peak. And it's strictly because of, they're comfortable with their surroundings and what people are trying to do to them and how they play through that.
What about year 5? What does year 5 look like for most quarterbacks?
Read the tea leaves for Trevor.
Denny.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Trevor's going to have a great year. I think that this sets up really well for Trevor in a lot of ways. I am cautiously optimistic. We got another year here where we're putting in another offense, mm-hmm. right? And you've got some new pieces, and you've got some pieces of, even though they weren't great, you got some pieces of that offense that were considered leadership positions and staples with Ingram and a couple of the receivers that are gone, right? So I don't know how it's going to look right away, but I think the Jags have a great year. I think Trevor has a great year. I think Trevor has a Pro Bowl type year this year. I think the way that Liam and all those guys seem to be handling the situation is Trevor is as much a part of that coaching staff as he is a player. And Trevor's a smart player, so I think that plays. And I think you see the results pretty quickly.
Well, so real quick, Denny, what makes you think that? What makes you think that he's ready for a Pro Bowl type season? Is it because you think he's growing into the idea of not only the position but the idea of being like the face of the franchise? Do you think it's the new ecosystem around him with the new coach and the guys they brought in, or is it just a combination of everything?
Yeah, it's Trevor to me is interesting because when you talk about Trevor and why he has not met expectations to a lot of people, it's, at least to me, maybe y'all aren't like this, but to me, it's hard to put my finger on the why. Right? He's plenty talented enough. He's, for the most part, been healthy. He's dealt with some stuff, right? But for the most part, he's been pretty healthy. He's everything that we thought he was athletically. He's everything we thought he was from a leadership perspective. So there's nothing you can put your finger on and go, if he just fixes this, right? It's always, well, if he has more time. Or, we went through a season and a half where third and short play calls just didn't make any sense. And I'm not trying to deflect blame because we don't work a ton with Trevor. This isn't one of those things. I just think he's still as talented and as good as a prospect as we all thought he was a couple years ago when he was generational. And so I just think he keeps stacking these years, and now you have a complete overhaul inside the building, which a lot of times can give you a breath of fresh air, and now it is his team because this coach was hired after he signed that contract, and he understands Trevor Lawrence is here to stay longer than I'm here to stay, hopefully.
Yeah.
Like that's the way this thing goes. And so I just think there's more ownership in this, and there's nothing that I have seen in the past. And again, I'd love to hear if you guys have, that alarms me about his skill set or his knowledge or his ability to process the game or lead a franchise or lead a city.
Yeah, I just think same as you and a lot of people out there feel is that it just has to come together. Change has been the most constant thing for him, if you think about it, which is kind of crazy. And so now I firmly believe, Denny, the fact that Liam was able to step to the podium and say, hey, we want him to work on his footwork, that's calling out, like we said, a well-paid, highly regarded player on this roster, and he's saying he's got to do this very important piece of his job better, and then also the run game. Liam is such a believer in that, and I think that's going to show for as much success as anything in terms of change on this football team if they can prove they can run the football.
Yeah, 100%. I think the fresh start all the way through the general manager, the head coach, all that kind of stuff. Now you've got guys coming in with a plan, and there's no guys that they signed and their job's on the line for. Mm-hmm. So they're going to put the best roster that they can put out there that fits Trevor's skill set because they have to, because the percentage of that salary cap. And if they don't do that, they're going to fail, right? So every piece of energy at that place is around making sure that Trevor's successful. And like I said before, Trevor's never shown me any reason why he shouldn't be. So I think it all comes together. I don't know if my explanation makes sense, but I think it all comes together this year. I think we see, a pretty big jump for Trevor and the Jags.
No, I think your explanation is very good. Basically, what you're saying to kind of encapsulate everything is they've done everything they can to put him in position to reach his ceiling. Now it's up to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about it with Jalen Hurts last year, right? Look at the way Philly built that team around him. Look at the way Baltimore built that team around Lamar. And you can go, down the list with the exception of Mahomes, because Mahomes just is a different breed. Everybody builds to the skill set of their guy, and all those quarterbacks have had success because of that, right? And I think that's what has to happen here, and these guys' jobs literally depend on that. Mm-hmm. Because you don't have the option of it not working. They've already signed him. They've already given him all the money. It has to work. That has to be your plan, or you wouldn't have taken the job.
It's crazy when you think up in Philly. Doug Peterson was there. He was like, Sirianni takes over. Looks like Sirianni's on the ropes. They do buy into Jalen Hurts, like you're saying, and then they go get him a run game. And look what happened. It's crazy. All right, so real quick before you go, receivers down there, are they working with Carson? Like, what's the scene in the summertime for those guys to get their work in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not there for all of that stuff. Uh-huh. I mean, I have a specific job, but yeah, I mean, I think they're all down here working just like every other school is. I think largely during the summer, a lot of it's like player-led type of stuff.
Yeah.
There's some archaic rules still. We're still acting like this isn't professional football. But yeah, I mean, I think, this is that time of year where I think most people player-wise look at summer into two phases. There's pre-July and then there's post-July. And pre-July, you're preparing for what you're going to have to do in post-July 4th. Mm-hmm. And then you just understand when you come back from July 4th, you're in football season. Like, it just is what it is. So, I think everybody's working hard right now and just trying to physically just get as to where they feel like they need to be for that post-July run. Because nowadays, man, if you're Miami or you're Georgia or you're, any of these teams that are expected to make runs, you're about to play an NFL season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to be 230 through the season, then you probably need to get to about 237, 238 right now and have a plan. So I think that's where every college's attention is right now is just, hey, not only do we have to come out hot, but we got to stay healthy, and we got a long season ahead of us, and how do we best prepare for that?
Hey, real quick before we let you go, you don't see it in any way where Carson Beck would not be ready for the season opener. Like, he's going to be ready.
Yeah. I mean, I have no reason to think that he wouldn't be ready. He's
reaching every benchmark.
Plenty of time.
Good.
I just have to be careful.
Yeah. Of course.
That is medically, but I mean, I mean, at this point, we've been throwing for a while, and he looks great, and he's confident, and awesome. Everything's moving right along. So, I wouldn't see. I have no worries personally about it. No.
That's great news.
Yeah, the other thing that is cool that Denny occasionally kind of lends drops a little knowledge on us is that the biomechanics, the nutrition, the rehab, all that stuff that you're kind of more and more involved with on a daily basis, that's also a little next level stuff right now.
Yeah. It's not just one of these things where it's like, hey, you got a surgery, why don't you just hang out over here, let it heal,
like
we'll start throwing in 6 months. Yeah, unfortunately for all these guys, but I sent, when Brock signed his contract, I sent a screenshot to Carson.
Uh-huh.
And I just said, man, 2 years ago, dude was in literally the exact same place.
Crazy.
And, if you're diligent and you work, then this surgery, this injury is not even a thing, in 8 months after you had it, which is wild. That's how far medicine has come.
Oh, my gosh,
This thing was a 2-year thing.
Yeah, and especially a UCL for a quarterback versus a pitcher also.
Oh, gosh, man. It's crazy. It really is crazy. So, no, to your point, man, you really just focus, and this is going to sound cliche, but you just focus on that day that you're in and, like, what is it that I'm doing to help myself be as good as I can, injury included, but, also just all around physically and mentally.
All right, bro. Good stuff. Hopefully we'll catch up with you every once in a while down there in SoFlo. We appreciate it, bro.
All right, boys. Talk to y'all soon.
All right, Denny Thompson, Denny_Thompson. He's down there working. And Carson, like just to kind of finish up that part of it, is just coming through that part. How much force how much do you put on the body and force action just to make sure that he's taking that next step? How do you make sure?
Think about it.
Program-wise, you gotta get it up strength-wise, but then also not push the limits.
Of course, go out to your garage and throw the football with your son. You can feel it. And now you take that to another level as a guy that's not only an elite college football player, that's going to be a professional quarterback. You can see the stress that puts on your elbow.
Oh my gosh!
So he's he's going through a significant rehab, no doubt.
All right, we'll throw a couple of college notes at you. I saw the top receivers in America, the top groups from the different college programs that we'll throw out coming up here in just a second. Back to the YouTube chat, back to the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, just as far as some of the chatter, as far as this team is concerned, Trevor, even Mason Smith. I'm getting clobbered by Steve, so we'll get into that coming up on XL Primetime and Mokama Beer Company Monday.
He's not a night owl, but he does come out at night.
Terrifying!
Packer After Dark. All the sports talk and hot topics you need to know about. Live and local, even late night. After Rick Ballou, evenings on 1010XL.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
Big Chief Tire offers affordable quality tires for every type of vehicle. Frank Frangie here. Whether you're looking for all-season tires, high-performance options, or something more budget-friendly, Big Chief has the perfect set to keep you rolling. Their expert technicians ensure your tires are installed quickly and safely so you can drive with confidence. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and check out their unbeatable tire deals today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracts. Save 15% on roof replacements and repairs now through June 30th. And financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 125-8484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Let's start with some cold, hard truth. Here's why Awaken 180 Weight Loss is your road to freedom. It's fast, it's easy, it's safe. You're not shooting chemicals into your body every week. You're eating real food every single day. You're not listening to an overpriced celebrity tell you about magical new food or asking you to count points or calories. You're just eating food and losing weight. It's that simple with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know what else you're doing while losing weight with Awaken 180? Eliminating pain, fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years, sleeping through the night and waking up refreshed and energized and happy. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and Hacker lost more than 110 over the course of a year. It's a life-changing road to freedom. Doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 Weight Loss will get you there quickly and safely, a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Give us your hot take.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
On the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
Be part of the conversation. 641-1010.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Maxed out on credit card, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Weekend Rewind. Brought to you by Cycles of Jacksonville. The big boy toy store for big boy toys.
Scotty Scheffler stays hot going back-to-back at Jack's Place, winning his second straight Memorial.
The man is a machine. Scotty Scheffler, the repeat champion at Jack's event.
Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani have a great back and forth in the Dodgers-Yankees series.
And there's a fly ball hit to center field, hit way back, and this one's not going to come back either. Aaron Judge starts off this World Series rematch with a blast. And now he hits left center field. It's Judge 1, Ohtani 1.
The Indiana Pacers punched their ticket to the NBA Finals for the first time in 25 years.
This series was won and lost in game 1 by the Knicks.
Long shot, Halliburton. Oh! Tyrese Halliburton has gone mad. Performance for the ages, but the fourth quarter was it for Halliburton, and that one was taken from Terre Haute. Man, he was way, way outside.
It started a little slow for Indiana when you go back to their series clinching win, taking the Eastern Conference against the New York Knicks. Knicks had won up in the Garden. They send it back to Indiana, and Halliburton and company, who basically were held in check in a big way from the Knicks defense a couple nights before that, they were able to get the job done. And so they win. They're not a betting favorite at all against Oklahoma City. I think it's something in the neighborhood of minus 375, I think, for OKC. RJ, maybe you can look that up. Plus 750, I believe, for the Indiana Pacers. Let me see if I can grab it here real quick. It's just crazy what the odds are right now and how much of an underdog the Indiana Pacers are against the OKC Thunder. But they won. They surprised a hell of a lot of people when it comes down to the bottom line of them winning the Eastern Conference. The other stuff, Aaron Judge and Shohei, it ends up going like Yankees dominated and really torched Yamamoto last night. But other than that, great series between the two, Ohtani and Judge. You couldn't ask for more. And Scotty Scheffler winning back-to-back Memorials. He and a guy named Eldrick are the only two guys that have ever backed up their title at Jack's Place at Muirfield Village. You ready for this, Scotty? Let's make this the when you think about it, it's just crazy when you if you add up the amount of money that has been added to the PGA Tour coffers since this whole Live PGA Tour battle has been going on. There's a lot more cake out there. There's no question about it. But at the Byron Nelson, he earned $1.78 million. At the PGA Championship, $3.42 million. At the Charles Schwab, he didn't win that one. Basically $425,000.
For doing what? For finishing where?
I want to say he finished top 3, maybe. I can't quite remember. I think it was top 3. May have been top 5, let's just say.
$400 for that.
And then the Memorial paid more than the PGA. $4 million for the Memorial, $3.42 for the PGA. So add that up in 1 month's time. That's pretty solid work right there for Scotty.
Coming off that hand injury, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, he's just been, honestly, he's been dominating on a level that, well, the only guy you're ever really going to say it about, at least in recent memory, is Tiger.
Yeah.
And we're talking 1 month with a win at Jack's Place, which gives you a 3-year exemption on top of all that cash, and then winning in his home state of Texas. Anyway, it's some kind of good. All right, the Weekend Rewind. If you had a lousy weekend, you like to rewind it, make sure you drop on by Cycles of Jacksonville. They're on Atlantic near Regency. Check out their Facebook page or cyclesofjacksonville.com with all sorts of cool stuff on and off-road and on the water.
Maybe the story is, why isn't he getting the type of hype
that he's not Tiger
got? Right, but that's the question. Why? If he's putting up those the Tiger type finishes and winning that type of money and clearly distancing himself from the rest of the field.
Yeah, I think,
why?
I think my first and immediate answer is there's nobody that even comes close to moving the meter like Tiger Woods did. So that's why he's not getting Tiger-like love, because Tiger leads Sports Center with whatever he did when he was at his peak. And whenever he came back, all eyes were on him. Scotty, right or wrong, he's a married guy with a newborn and doesn't have this over-the-top personality. You saw some emotion in him when he won the Wanamaker, how fired up he was at the end. But he just doesn't, like Bryson DeChambeau, if he did this, and he was on the PGA Tour, not on the other one,
right?
He might move the meter a little bit more. But Scotty is still great, and he's still getting his due. He's just not getting it maybe as much as what you would think some of the other guys are definitely going to get. Tiger, totally separate category for him. I did laugh, though. Kyle Porter from Covers the Game of Golf, and he sent this tweet out. You can easily find it. I'll retweet it because it makes me laugh. Winning a golf tournament for $4 million and your wife handing you a baby with a poop stain square in the middle of his back is peak dad life. And that's Scotty Scheffler. He just takes the lad, got him a big old poop stand on the back. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And so Scotty is just, he's not going to try and move the meter and grow his brand or anything like that. He's just going out there and winning, which is really something else.
He clearly doesn't have the aura that Tiger had around him.
No.
Not even anywhere close to that.
It's so...
But the game is getting close, I'll tell you that.
Well, if he can keep doing what he's doing right now, there was a period of time when Tiger was on a roll and was winning either back-to-back starts or winning on the clip that he's winning. It's rare air. There's no question about it. And I'd have to go back and look. The most that Tiger won in 1 year, I feel like it was 7 or 8, but I have to go back and look. I can't quite remember. But he's playing well enough. If Rory was doing this, Rory would also be probably more hyped than Scotty. But hell, I thought after watching Rory at Augusta that he had everything he needed to win, to challenge the idea of winning all 4. I wonder if Scotty's going to be able to take 3 of the 4 this year. Who knows? All right, we started with the Jags. Let's get back to them. Off our YouTube chat, we were talking about Mason Smith, and I just said, hey, I'm going to watch him. I'm going to keep an eye on him. He looks like he's still a little heavy, so on and so forth. Steve goes, Mason doesn't have the spare tire he did last year, so I don't know what you're talking about, Joe. He has more slack in his jersey. His weight has been distributed better this year. And it is kind of funny. If we are looking at more slack in the jersey, I guess that's a good sign. I'm still looking at a heavy man. And so I just want to see how it all ends up. It's not.
At the end of the day, I don't mind a heavy man in the interior like that as long as he can move. As long as he's quick and he makes plays. There are heavy men in the NFL all over the interior on both lines of scrimmage. But if you got to be able to have a little ability.
Yeah, and so we're talking about a tall human being that if he doesn't hone his craft, he's going to get stood up by offensive linemen over and over and over. And Leon, who will be back tomorrow from Jamaica, Big Source has said it all so many times, you have to win the leverage game. And so putting weight on Mason Smith is not the worst thing, but I also want to see him be in a position where he can still make those disruptive plays interiorly. He has to. We haven't seen enough of that. We don't even know whether this guy's going to be good or not. I'm just pointing out that he looks a little heavy to me. So anyway, it did make me laugh just a little bit. You know what else made me laugh? Of that, RJ, if you don't mind.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, this should shock no one. But if we are doing the math, this is another player that played in the teal and black last year that has retired. Ronald Darby, 10 seasons in the National Football League, helped the Eagles win the Super Bowl, informed the Houston Texans that he is retiring from the NFL per sources. So been around for a long time, and he was here last year. And it felt like a hell of a long time last year.
So basically what you're telling me is that free agency class of last year that Trent Baalke signed included 2 guys that retired after the season.
Yeah, 2 10-year vets, Mitch Morse and Ronald Darby. I wish Mitch would have stuck around one more year, but his body told him no. Ronald Darby's body told him no last year. Okay, he milked one more year out of that bad boy. But anyway, he is now retired. So there's a guy that when he came here, you said to yourself, okay, there's experience. He played up in Baltimore. He didn't have a full starting job the season before, but he played on a good defense.
Right.
And heck, I remember interviewing him before the season, and he kind of scoffed at the notion that someone else would be challenging him for his job. Well, it ended up being that he was right and I was wrong, because no one was good enough to challenge him for his job, and he was terrible. He still was terrible. And nobody made quarterbacks look better last year in terms of passer rating than Ronald Darby.
Which is kind of my point from earlier in the show, Joe. I mean, we joke about Ryan Nielsen. We call him Rick Nielsen, and it's funny and everything. I mean, at the end of the day, it may have been a combination of bad coaching. Guess what? A lot of just guys on that defense.
Yeah.
What do we really know about Tyson Campbell?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, like we said,
other than a stretch of games where you're like, all right, he looks pretty good.
Well, he hasn't picked off a ball since his contract extension. That I do know, and that needs to change. And he has one pick for the last 2 seasons. That's not enough. Hardly enough. And so, yeah, those guys have to be better.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the most consistent guy in that defense is the guy they shouldn't have picked at 1 overall a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. Well,
It's Trayvon Walker.
Yeah.
He's the most consistent guy in that defense.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see if they can turn him loose and get him that one more move and get some help inside, get Josh Hines Allen back to where he wants to be or says he can be, lighter on his feet. Hell yeah. Let's see some of these guys actually feast at the line of scrimmage, which they haven't been able to do.
Yeah, I mean, I look, I was as big a critic as anybody of him the first couple of years. He's a good player. Trayvon Walker's a good player.
Yeah, good player.
I still don't think he's a Aiden Hutchinson-type player, but he's a good player.
Right. Was he worth the number 1 overall pick?
Probably not.
Well, yeah, Trayvon would say, ask them, because I didn't select me.
Right. They
did.
selected me, right.
Yeah, and so that's where you are with that. All right, Mokama Beer Company Monday. We will wrap ours up. Get ready for the Friends show coming up. We hope that you'll drop on by and check out Mokama right there on South 8th in Fernandina. All those people up in Nassau County know how great it is, so you check it out. Also, their Wildlight location as well.
From the edge of your radio to the edge of your seat. Showtime! Feel the excitement of live play-by-play.
And this place is rocking right now.
On 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com/Duval.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. At South State, they believe strong relationships build strong businesses. That's why they take the time to understand your goals, challenges, and vision, so they can provide solutions tailored to your needs, like they've done for me for years. South State has always been there for our business and our charity. With a team you can trust and a commitment to personalized service, South State Bank is here to be more than your bank. They're your partner in business. Visit southstatebank.com. South State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your...
Whoa. The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air and Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 2nd, 1987, the kid, Ken Griffey Jr., was selected first overall by the Seattle Mariners.
Making his Mariner debut, Ken Griffey Jr. at the age of 19.
You tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's 30th anniversary sale. Buy one window or patio door and get one 30% off. Financing options are available and this offer expires June 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hey, Hickett here for my friends at Zero Res. Gang, vacuuming is not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and lifespan of your carpet, period. Do not leave deep cleaning to yourself, but do-it-yourself dirt-attracting carpet soaking machines. No. Call on the cleaning freaks from Zero Res. Big summer savings. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129. Take 20% off air duct cleaning as well. Call them, 904-287-5727, and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, call it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, my takeaway is we are officially in June. This may be the slow months of summer, but this is when these guys got to start getting after it. Mm-hmm. This is when this team has to really start looking like inside themselves and start thinking, all right, how can I be the difference this year? How can I be the difference? Because they had a lot of guys who were looking for a lot of easy outs last year, and that can't happen. And hopefully, again, I hate using that word, but hopefully there's a change of, I'm not even going to say culture. I'm just going to say there's a change in the way they're thinking now because of this new staff. Because of the young guns, because of the young guys that are running the show right now. You know, that there's this idea of, all right, well, it's time to turn it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. For lack of a better way of looking at it. Because, look, they made some changes. There's no doubt they did. You got a couple offensive linemen. You drafted an offensive lineman that should start. But guess what? This is essentially the same team. You got a dynamic receiver, but it's going to take him some time to figure it out. So you've got essentially, 75, 80% the same team. So they've got to figure it out. These guys that have been here, and we've talked about this for a while now, Joe, there's a core group of guys that are hitting what should be their prime.
Yeah.
Tyson Campbell, Walker Little. You could write down the list, man. These are guys, Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence. These are guys that have to have it figured out. It's time to turn it up, man.
Yeah, and I feel like, just to kind of follow that one, and what I've always tried to say is just marrying up your philosophy, the way you run the operation with the actual players that you go out and get, that if you have it all working, obviously you can be a perennial playoff performer. We've seen teams do it over and over and over. There were certain philosophies. John Harbaugh and the Ravens are a good one to point to. You can point to the Packers, the Patriots. You can go on and on with the ones that are regularly there because their system works. Andy Reid understands from the very top what he needs to do and what type of player he's looking for. And so you go get those guys. Well, both of those things have to happen. And so let's just hope that Gene Wilder and Harry Potter have got it all figured out, and they're ready to go and make this football team better and make dreams come true in Duval once again. One of our texters, if Walker goes for 15 sacks this year, could get interesting offseason as far as the salary cap. Would Walker get interior money or outside edge money? He will get outside edge money because that's where he will play primarily. And so you can.
Yeah, he is an edge guy.
He is an edge guy. You can dream of him inside, like Coach Campo loves to talk about, on down and distance situations. If it's 3rd and long and he's going to be able to rush the passer, he actually is in a better spot interiorly in that situation, depending on who else you have on the field. It doesn't always have to be that way. It definitely can end up where Trayvon Walker is rushing from multiple spots, and he's still going to be paid as an edge guy. That's what he is.
Yeah.
That's what he will want to be paid. That's what he's thinking he's going to get paid. A couple of other guys, at least want to throw them out there right now, just as far as guys that kind of popped a little bit, because we'll see them one more time later this week and then 3 times next week, and then it's shutdown time after that. And those guys going to have to figure out exactly what they can do coming up in just a bit. But a couple of guys. Fred Johnson is a huge human being, and he's going to challenge for that one of those tackle spots. And he's a guy that you just have to at least keep your eye on. Mark Long has said on our show that he believes he's got a chance to win. He's got a chance to compete and possibly win one of those tackle jobs. Does he point to the left side more than he does the right side with Fred Johnson?
He points to the left, yeah.
He does. Over Walker Little.
Yeah.
Fred Johnson's a behemoth, okay? He's a big individual, but can he move fast enough at that tackle position? I don't know. He had a half dozen starts up in Philadelphia. That was a team that did pretty damn good, okay? They had a lot going their way, and he was one of the guys that was given credit for it, for the run game, for what Jalen Hurts was able to do. So Fred Johnson is going to be an interesting watch just to see how he and Walker Little go about their work this offseason and really into training camp. Brian Thomas Jr. just looks like a stud. Just 100%. The more you see 16 and 7 working together, the more excitement is going to start to flow through this city.
I also love the fact that he's got a little chip now, man.
Oh,
he's always hearing this Travis Hunter. He's like, bro, you got a top 10 cat right here.
Yes.
And I'm about ready to show you. I'm about ready to be a top 5 guy. That's the kind of guy you want, man.
Yes. And he's the quiet assassin type. And he's doing everything that he's making the catches. He's making the plays. He did a couple of juke moves today against defenders that just make you smile. And so there's definitely guys out there right now that look like they're ready to ball. Saying Brian Thomas Jr. is having a good camp is I'm not telling you anything you don't expect because of the season he had last year, but he's a fun watch and just kind of seeing where he's going to go with what he has right now. I mentioned a couple of other guys that are going to be battling their fannies off to make the squad. Christian Braswell, he's just a guy at the back end of the roster, but he's doing everything he can to turn heads. DeAndre Prince, another guy playing in the secondary, playing cornerback, that's going to be doing something, anything he can to turn heads, to maybe finally make a roster.
Right, because if you're thinking Buster Brown's a starting corner, I don't care who you on that roster.
Yeah.
If that's the starting corner opposite of Tyson Campbell, man, you've got to see that as I can win that job.
Yeah, and right now I'm putting Jarian Jones opposite Tyson Campbell. But Monteric Brown made a couple of plays today. Buster Brown is still one of those.
He's still running with the ones, though. Buster is, right?
They're mixing everything up. They're not going to. But right now you're seeing Jarian and Tyson basically. And then when you see Travis Hunter, which he didn't do anything on defense today, but whenever you do see him out there, there's a guy that still is instinctual as all get out and can make plays. He's not big. He's not. He is wiry.
In any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, he's wiry. He makes Devonta Smith look big. He's wiry. So we'll just see how they go along with him as far as the training table goes in the weight room and strength and conditioning and all that kind of stuff. But pull this one soundbite up, RJ, just the one that Liam Coen had at the podium, the cut courtesy of Jaguars.com, just as far as what Travis Hunter does bring defensively to the table.
Well, Milo came up to me after practice and said, can we have him more? And so that's a good thing, right? we were in the red area on Friday and didn't end up making any like plays on the ball, but just the movement skills and some of the man coverages, the feel and zone, you can definitely see how natural it is for him. Still learning, still growing, still trying to learn the calls as much as possible. But when you see him just in the actual 7-on and team setting, he doesn't look out of place by any means.
And I think that's the key, is that any rookie can look out of place at any time, right?
Yeah.
That's what you expect them to be a little lost. But a guy like that, if you can get him in a situation where he's just going to give you a little more in terms of, hey, my gosh, this guy's got a mind for it, a willingness to put in the work, a retention level that is very high, all those things, that's what you're seeing right now, and that's what they're going to try and feed off of and get as much as they possibly can out of him. If they take it slow, I still say throw a lot at him right now in the offseason, see what he can absorb and is willing to do. But their approach, they're excitable on both sides of the ball as far as what Travis Hunter brings to the table. Now, when I talked about the ability to go both ways, nobody does it like this guy. Nobody.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
The embedded and shredded can go both ways. He can go embedded, he can go shredded. It doesn't matter. He's willing and able. Am I right?
I certainly will do anything that the team needs. So I wouldn't put me out there, but if you'd like me, I'll give it my all. How about that? But what a fun day, getting to see BTJ and Travis Hunter, and I am looking forward to being out there when they have him on defense. Because we haven't seen that yet. We've been to 3 of these, and he's been offense the whole time. I think it's 7 total OTAs, and Travis has been 5 offense, 2 defense to this point. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see him on defense later this week when we're out there.
So tell Matt if you agree. Just he does route wise. He looks sneaky, fast, and can get open, and he has those instincts that I think everyone dreams of having.
Travis Hunter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think he's going to be a sensation at receiver. He's just so smooth in his cuts. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of NFL defensive backs that are going to be able to stay with him. And I would expect big success early on the offensive side of the ball, and I think he'll do enough defensively. Mm-hmm. I think he's got a chance to be honestly one of the top 5 stories in the NFL this season. There's going to be obviously whoever the best team that's going to be a massive storyline. Who maybe it's the Eagles, maybe it's the Chiefs. We'll see. Maybe it's a new team. There's going to be the team that falls apart that everybody's stunned by. Maybe that's Detroit. But somebody who's going to fall apart that was great last year, and that's going to be a stunner. You're going to have some impressive MVP performances. There'll be a quarterback that statistically is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. There'll probably be a running back or receiver that does something crazy. But if Travis Hunter is like 1,000-yard receiver and intercepts 4 passes, something like that, I mean, he is going to be a national storyline every week of the season.
It's true.
And he will have, it'll start out as there'll be like the cool media where like nationally, there'll be the cool pockets of, hey, I've got Travis Hunter in the MVP discussion. And then it'll expand a little bit more. And I don't think he'll win the MVP as a rookie, but I do think it'll be a credible argument that you can start making by the time we get to like early December. If he stays healthy.
Enthusiasm galore. Okay.
I don't know if that's enthusiasm or jumping blindly into the deep end, but Carline's on it, man.
I think athletically he can do it all, and he's smart. So, but even that, we've seen plenty of superstars in this league that are his size. I don't think his lack of girth is going to be a problem. I'm sure he'll add weight as he progresses, but anyway, I'm really excited about him. I think sky's the limit. I think he could be the Ohtani of the NFL.
Yeah,
and if
awesome.
that's the case, it'll be one of the biggest storylines that the league has seen in a decade or longer. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll certainly talk about that. Frank was at the OTA as well, so we'll give our thoughts. I had an opportunity to catch up with Foye Oluwakan after practice, so we'll play that interview. And, lots of other stuff going on. We'll talk Gators, we'll talk Knowles, and everything coming up on the Frangie Show.
Sounds good, my brother.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Hayes Carline, Frank Frangie back, JJ in. RJ, thanks for hanging out with us.
By the way, not a good weekend for your Gator boys and gals.
Well, they didn't.
Women took 2-Q in the College World Series, and the men lost to ECU twice and just beat some terrible team.
The Gators will have their F over F victory in the regional up in Conway, because both of them were wearing the Fairfield goes down hard to the Florida Gators. They at least got one win. That's it. All right, we are out. Mocama Beer Company, thanks to them. Mocama.com, really easy to log on, see the story that they can tell you as far as their success as a wonderful craft brewery. Definitely check them out. And then find them on the shelves at Total, ABC, or Publix. Check out Mocama Beer Company. RJ, thank you. Matty Hayes, Joe C. We'll talk to you mañana.
You guys wouldn't figure it out.
When is